Hey guys, welcome back. I already have created some sample files, so let's get started. So now these are the details, like basically the same stuff that's in ec2.sh. I'm giving it the AMI ID. The count is 1. I could remove it, and I should have removed it. But you could create more than one instance with this command. Instance type T2 micro and key name Charlie's key. All right, so this is what it's going to create. Now, one thing this one needs is basically the provider info, and that, you know what, don't worry about it right now for this example. So after this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna say this is the first step of any Terraform command. Terraform validate. Sorry, I'm used to using this. Well, that's where the confusion. I cannot remember these commands. Okay, once we validate, what this means is like whatever TF commands exist here, they have proper syntaxes. Then what we do, we say Terraform plan. And here, it's going to tell us like what all it's going to do. Okay, now this is the instance that it's going to create. Now AMI is this, ARN is this and that. Instance state, there has to be instance ID somewhere. I think it calls it the host ID, or probably just the ID. But like this is what it's going to create. All right. Now the other thing, let's say, let me make a mistake. Instance types. All right. Again, we're going to go Terraform validate, and immediately it's going to give you an error. But you guys see how verbose it is compared to the errors that we were getting on the command line. They're like cryptic. So that is one advantage of Terraform. It basically gets the guesswork out of the equation. And this is actually the file that's giving the provider info. So I'm just going to rename it for now, unless it has TF heading. It's not going to do anything. All right. So the only we have to specify the region, and the provider is going to be AWS, and that's it. And now, once again, do TFE. Everything is fine. Now Terraform plan. Okay, now we just got one thing. AWS instance dot foo. Well, I just copied it from the EC2 TS. This could be anything, but I don't like the foo. And then what we do is we say Terraform apply. All right. And if everything is okay, it's basically going to ask us, should we go ahead or not go ahead? So it's giving me an error. The simple problem here is I have not updated the AMI in the script that I copied from the Terraform website. It's just like whatever default they had. Anyways, it takes me a few seconds to figure out. This is actually, I am recording on top of my first video, because I just realized this probably is stressing you out, guys, that I'm going so fast through this, not properly explaining these things. But in this chapter, I just wanted to kind of show how things work with shell scripting and how things work with Terraform. I think it might be beneficial to explain the components of Terraform before we jump into this. So other thing that I wanted to point out, like I'm used to seeing trainings which are like, all clean cut, like, everything just works, but it never happens that way in production. Like there's little things, like that little code. is going to create problems that you're going to struggle for like hours. But you see the mistake somebody else is doing, and you're like, hey, that's what's happening there. So that's why I'm just leaving it out there. So apologize if somebody thinks that like it's unnecessarily wasting time. Okay. Now. Okay, so basically I have the right AMI, I just never put it in my file, and it is in US West 2. It was just a straight up copy paste from the Terraform website. Okay, so now once again, we do the whole thing, Terraform, validate, and Terraform clown. All right, and so this is basically what it's going to do. It's basically saying I'm going to add one, not going to change anything, not going to destroy anything. And then we go Terraform, apply, hopefully it works this time. All right, so it has created the instance. Yes, East Virginia. This is what I was saying, like, sometimes it just changes to Ohio. I don't know why and how, but this is the new instance that got created. Now, if it was command line and we wanted to delete it, we were going to have to find out. But for us, Terraform retains this. So if you go Terraform show, it's going to show what all it has created. All right, so AWS instance EC2 ETF. And then when we're done, the only thing we need to do is Terraform destroy. Once again, yes. So guys, at this point, I will explain in a small Linux lesson. You could send this in the background and basically go home and Terraform will do the job of destroying this. You don't have to stay here. So if you look here, the instance is shutting down, and they should clean out on its own. All right, so next lesson, we're going to complicate things a little bit more. All right, so basically Terraform move on to the next chapter. Next. And nothing is left. That's it. Like basically